Does Trestolone increase free testosterone? It did for me. Here are my lab results, and here's what happened. You will be hungry and you will be sweating, so be prepared for that. Get your extra deodorant now. Alright guys, so welcome to another episode of Miami Life and Fitness. Thank you so much for joining my channel. If you're new here, welcome. A channel about fitness, anabolics, nutrition, and how to cycle. If you're back, then thank you so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having subscribed, turn on notifications, became my fan, have given me super thanks, thank you, and have joined my members club. So thank you to all of you. Getting right into the video, this is one of my favorite supplements, is Trestolone Aka Ment, methylnandrolone testosterone. I love it. It is a 19 NOR. It is from the nandrolone family, and I guess I love all the nandrolones. Shh. But I'm also going to talk at the end of the video about women, so stay tuned. Women that are on TRT, that are using testosterone. There is a reason why I don't take testosterone, and for those of you that take it that aren't really liking the results but still love how you feel, this is why Trestolone may be another option for you. So I've already made 2 videos about Trestolone and why I do think it's the god. I do think it's a monster steroid. It's amazing in itself. It was originally made for, I'm not going to get into the history of it because I've already done 2 videos of it, and you can watch the first video here. But Trestolone was originally made for impotence and as a male contraceptive. It is from the 19 NOR, and it is the monster steroid above Tren. Tren is in a world of its own, kind of like the mushroom in a world of its own. But the thing is that it has totally different side effects, and they have different types of risk. For instance, the reason why I love Trestolone is it increases progesterone, increases total test, and increases free test. So the main reason why I wanted to do this video was because it did increase my free testosterone as well as my total test. So everybody, all of you guys that know me, that follow my channel, which thank you, everybody always knows that I only take one sub. I only take one hormone. I only take one anabolic at a time. Why? Because I don't need any more than that. I've already reached my level of physique. I've already reached a level of where I am good with my muscle mass and muscle maturity, and I've reached a level of my physique where I pretty much sit all year round at about 10% body fat. So I'm not competing anymore. There's really no need for me to take anything else, just to keep my levels balanced and for me to help me stimulate my muscle growth as it stimulates androgen receptors, and to help with recovery so I can go back and train hard the next day. So one thing about me is I always take either MPP, which is nandrolone panel prop, or, for those that are going to correct me because there's going to be some assholes out there, nandrolone phenyl prop, or I take turinabol, which is T-ball, which is the baby cousin of D-ball, which specifically was made for athletes. So I'm always taking one of those 2. Now, my testosterone level isn't always high. My testosterone level always kind of sits on the lower end, kind of always sits like maybe right around 15, 20, so it's on the lower end of the testosterone scale. Do I feel good? Sometimes. At least my testosterone is not at a 0, but my testosterone level is not at optimum level, and everybody knows I'm always talking about you have to live an optimum life and you have to live at optimum levels. But I think because I'm so freaked out about maybe taking too many different subs, or my testosterone going up too high and the estrogen going too high, and I'm getting freaked out about the estrogen being high, I think that's why I don't want to take other things, especially like testosterone, for example, to really increase the testosterone level to a higher amount, and then the estrogen is going to fly up and escalate as well. So my testosterone kind of always sits on the lower end, about a 15 or 20. However, at the very same time, my estrogen always sits very low as well. Also not a good thing. My estrogen is usually always between a 20 and a 40. So the levels really aren't that bad. You kind of want to sit right there to be an athlete. Maybe 30, 40, 50, that's pretty much the golden range. If you're sitting right around a 20, you're already at the lower end of the spectrum. So I did my estrogen, I want to say maybe 4 months ago, and my estrogen was I want to say about a 20. I really don't remember. It was like 20, 30. I really don't remember. But it was on the lower end of the spectrum. I felt fine. Now, then what I wanted to do, because my testosterone was also a little bit low, what I wanted to do was an auto test to see where my testosterone and estrogen levels are after I started taking, mixing a tiny bit of Trestolone into the mix. Now, just how much I take, this much. You can't even really even see my face. That's how much goes into the needle, literally. And I always do it first because I want to know how much I'm getting into the plunger, especially in the neck of the plunger that's about this long, before it even gets to the bottom where you start reading before that first line in that neck. And I kind of just let it sit there and I just stop right there. And that's how I know I'm getting about 10 mLs. Now, Trestolone is measured a little bit differently than testosterone is, whereas Test-Sip, Test-E, even SUST, they're all measured at 250 milligrams per ml per cc. So you're getting 250, so that's pretty high. A lot of guys just use 1 cc even for a TRT dose. However, Trestolone Ment is measured a little bit differently. It's measured 50 milligrams per ml. You actually don't even need that much because it's 8 to 10 times stronger than testosterone. I mean, the anabolic rating is 2300 and the androgenic rating is 650. So it's a monster all on its own. So you really don't need that much. It's also very, 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 very expensive. People think Primo is expensive. Primo is Walmart compared to how expensive Trestolone powder is. So it is based in, it's dosed in 50 milligrams. So last week, I just wanted to see where what it was going to do to my testosterone level. This is a test that I do. I auto test myself, and that's how I try things out. I try things out after I get labs, and then I try things out, and then I go get labs done again. And that is how I know what works, my own experience, so that I can educate you, talk about my experiences, be honest, transparent, and let you know what really happened with because nobody knows what's going on in here, and nobody knows what's going on in there inside your body until you get your labs. So I went and had my labs done last week, and all I checked was free test, total test, and estrogen. So with these lab results, as you can see, my free testosterone was a 44, which is amazing, and my testosterone was also a 44, so now I'm feeling great. Also, my estrogen was really, really low. It was a 13. I think I had been taking the Trestolone already maybe 2 weeks before I got the test done, which is fine. But this is why we have to get our labs done, because we really want to know what's going on, and we really want to know if the stuff that we're taking is legit and if it works and if it's properly dosed. So my testosterone and my free test were phenomenal because I can sit at a 44. I feel great. I have a lot more energy. I know that I'm recovering better. I'm sleeping better. But the thing is, my estrogen level is way too low. My estrogen is at a 13. That is very low. It's almost on the floor. This can affect many things. Having high estrogen and having low estrogen can be dangerous as well because both of those has their downsides and both have their negatives. It affects your sleep. It affects your libido. It can affect your skin, your hair, your nails, a whole gang of shit. So now what I'm doing is now in 30 days after I take the Trestolone, or after, basically that was last week, so 3 weeks from this week, which will total 4 weeks, I'm gonna get those same 3 panels done again. Test, free test, and estrogen. Because as we all know, because it is so androgenic, it will increase estrogen levels, because even though it says that it doesn't aromatize just like Tren, everything eventually increases testosterone, which then eventually simultaneously increases estrogen because estrogen tries to catch up with the rise in the testosterone level. So hopefully this will increase my estrogen levels a little bit. And it's kind of weird because normally women have to decrease their estrogen levels, and I have to increase it because mine is very, very low. Also, if your estrogen is very, very low, it's harder for you to build muscle. You do need estrogen to build muscle, but again, everything in a safe zone, in a healthy zone, in an athlete zone. So 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, up to 60s, and you're fine. You'll be able to build muscle, have sex, sleep well, be able to rejuvenate your skin, your hair, your nails, and everything else. And and the bones, and so you won't get bone pain. This is another thing that happens with low estrogen. You may start having bone pain. And yes, MPP does fix this, but you don't want to just rely on MPP. You want to increase the estrogen levels a little bit so you don't actually always have bone pain and then rely on MPP to lubricate the bones, joints, and ligaments. So again, this is why I always talk about this, because we have to know what we're doing, and this is why I'm very knowledgeable about the anabolics, about each supplement, about what they do, their benefits, their cons, their side effects, their risks, the masculinization, especially for women. But these are also things that you have to know how to manipulate and how to structure them in your body, know the amounts that you have to take in order to juggle what you need in order how to feel good, and know the amounts that you have to take, especially for women. So I'm trying this now because I needed to increase my testosterone a little bit. I also needed to increase my estrogen a little bit. So hopefully with this test, we'll see how it does with the Trestolone, and hopefully I continue to feel good, and hopefully it does increase my estrogen, which I'm gonna test it again after the 4 weeks are up, and we'll see how it does. This is one thing that I love about Trestolone as well, is that for women that do need a TRT or HRT regimen, this is another option for you. As I mentioned, I will be talking about this towards the end of the video. But ladies, this is another option for you. The reason why I don't take testosterone, and I love when people tell me that I take too much testosterone, and I'm like, bitch, I don't even touch it. I don't touch it. I don't touch it because I don't like the effects that it gives me. And I did try it once when I had to rebound off of my last competition cycle, when I was literally, my hormones were on the ground. Because we all know when you compete, you take a whole cocktail of shit, and people that don't know wake up, but whoever competes, you have to take a whole gang of shit. Whole gang of, it's a whole package. It's a whole package full of stuff. So when you bounce back from a competition, ladies, especially if you're in figure, physique, or bodybuilding, if your estrogen is on the ground and everything else is on the ground, then you will need to take a little test to increase all that again so you can get your body back to normal. Again, that was the only time I tried testosterone, and I did it for 2 weeks. And I didn't like how I felt. There were weird things happening, and my voice literally started cracking, and I started talking, and I was like, and I don't like that. I don't want to feel as if I can't talk and I don't have a voice. So not only that, but I didn't want my voice to get any worse, because Primo, since I was on it for almost 3 years, Primo is really what affected me and changed my voice. So ladies, if you're on Primo, just know that even though it's light on paper, it is a lot stronger in the body as far as reactions, and it can cause a voice change, straight up. Yes, Primo is very female friendly, blah, blah, blah. On paper, it's very anabolic, blase, blase, blase. It's in the 30s as far as androgenic. But the thing is, it's light on paper, but it's a lot stronger when it's in your body. So again, it is a great suck, but that's why I don't take it. So that was what I was worried about, and that's why I will not touch or take testosterone, and I will not do it. I don't care what it is, I won't do it. So this is why I love Trestolone Aka Ment, because it is another option for you ladies with less sides and less risk. In my opinion, that's in my opinion. This is not my first time or second time or even third time that I'm cycling Trestolone. I have done it quite a few times, and it is amazing and magnificent. Men, for those of you that had not tried Trestolone, this is an amazing compound. It's an amazing supplement. You don't need much. It is an acetate, so you will need to inject it just like MPP and do it every 48 hours. So my recommendation for men, as you keep it extremely low, you can do 25, 25, or 25, or you can do 50, 50, 50, totaling max 150 a week. You do not need more than 150 milligrams a week of Trestolone. Man, let me repeat that. You do not need more than 150 milligrams of Trestolone a week. It is 650 on the androgenic scale. Testosterone is at 100. Do the math. 100, 650. Duh. You don't need that much. If you're already taking testosterone, then you can even try 25, 25, 25. But ladies, if you're gonna do this and you need a consultation and you're curious about it and you're intrigued, if I've intrigued your brain because Trestolone is the bomb, then email me for a consultation at miamilifeandfitness@gmail.com, or book your consultation directly so we don't have to go back and forth via email at www.miamilifeandfitness.com, and book your consultation directly right there. So I just wanted to get real with you. Oh, and also, please don't be dumb and don't be silly and don't be foolish and start asking me about the studies and how do I know it increases free testosterone. It increases free testosterone, and I don't need any research to tell me that. Number one, I see it on my results and all of my clients' results, men. That's number two. And number three is it lowers SHBG. When you lower SHBG, which is what steals your free testosterone, then it lowers it. When it lowers it, then it increases free testosterone. It's common sense. If something is lowering SHBG, your free testosterone is then increasing. The higher SHBG is, the lower your free test is, because SHBG binds to the free testosterone so that it can no longer float freely in your body. It's holding it hostage. I hope you liked the video. Hope you found it informative. If you did find it informative, then please hit a like, comment below, and share the video. If you do have your friends or buddies that are on Trestolone right now, share the video. And if you have your buddies and that person you know who's curious and has always wanted to take Trestolone, then send this video to them and my other videos as well about Trestolone, because it really is an amazing sub. And I'm not telling you to do steroids and I'm not telling you to do this, but you're gonna do whatever you want anyways. All right, guys, have a great week and we will see you soon.